Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about depression. I've thought about this. I know that with the world the way it is now, there's a lot of people that are dealing with things. But in this video, I want to talk about something that I've never really talked to many people about. I can think of maybe 4, maybe 5 people that I've actually told this story to. When we were cleaning out the garage the other day, we're going through boxes, we're finding things that we haven't seen in years. Some of them are great, some of them are bad. But one particular box, we open it up, and in the box we find the papers from my mom's funeral. We find the autopsy reports. So today marks 9 years from the last time I spoke with my mom. I lost my mom in 2012 to depression and suicide. Mom had a lot of demons. She had a lot of things in life that she dealt with. She had things that she just couldn't overcome. I fully believe she was the best mom she knew how to be. She'd done everything she could to take care of us. Mom was just a few classes away from a master's in Christian education. So it just goes to show that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how steady you are in life. Depression can get us all. So 9 years ago, Mom calls me. She had been arrested. She had been selling some of her pain pills to get things like toilet paper, toothpaste. She was at a point in life where she didn't feel like she could reach out to anyone for help. She didn't think anybody cared. She was out on her own. She was scared to death. So she did what she thought was right, and she sold some of her pain pills to get some necessities. So she gives me a call, and she didn't know what to do. At the time, I owned a bail bonds company. So she called me and she said, "Can you help me?" Now, me and Mom had been butting heads. We had some issues of our own. So we still talked. We were still fairly close, but we were arguing about her drug use. We were arguing about the fact that I didn't want to watch her die. So she calls me. I called Rowan County Jail and I asked the magistrate, I said, "This is the situation. This is who it is. Do you know what her bond was going to be?" Because my plan was to let her turn herself in. I was going to bail her right out, and we was going to get her the help she needed. So the magistrate tells me that her bond was going to be $50,000. Well, as a bondsman at the time, my cost to write that bond was 3%, so that was going to be at about $1,500. So I told her not to turn herself in, just keep her head down, give me a little bit, let me work on it. So I talked to the police officer. Then I called Cabarrus County and I talked to Miss Archie, who was a friend of mine, who was a magistrate there. Miss Archie said that since we had a great relationship, she knew me, she knew that I'd take care of the situation, she would get Mom out on a $5,000 bond. So over this time, I had a few hours to think. I didn't want to bail her right out. I wanted her to feel like she had hit rock bottom and needed help. I wanted her to get the help she needed. But I also know that I couldn't leave my mom in jail. There was just no way that was going to happen. So I called a friend of mine who was a bail bondsman at the time. He agreed to get her out of jail. Well, when Mom got out, she immediately called me. And she told me, "Thank you." So I told her, I said, "Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not the one that got you out." Mom was the only person that called me Joe. Everybody called me Joey. So she told me, as clear as day, she said, "Joe, I love you." And I told her, I said, "Mom, I don't want to go down this road with you. I don't want to watch you die because of these drugs. I don't want to watch these drugs end your life." Well, she told me, she said, "I've got it under control. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine." The fact is, I knew she didn't have it under control. I knew that she was down the road pretty far, but I didn't know how to help. I didn't know what to do to fix the issues she had. So later that night, I tried to call her. She didn't answer the phone. I sent her a text, told her I love her. The next day I was pretty busy. I had a lot going on with work, had some family stuff going on, so I didn't talk to her that day. Well, then on the 7th, which was Wednesday, she had court. My niece Mercedes was having a baby that morning, so I was headed to the hospital. I knew Mom was going to court, everything was going to be fine. Well, on the way to the hospital, I get the phone call from Sandy that Mom was gone. Said she couldn't get her to answer the door. She kicked the door in, she was gone. So I rushed to the hospital. I let them know I couldn't be there, and I went straight to Mom's. When I got to Mom's house, the police were already there. The ambulance was already there. I think it took me about 20-25 minutes to get there. On the way to the hospital, the first call I made was to my cousin Stephen, and I told him, I said, Mom's gone. I don't know what to do. Mom's gone. Within about 25 minutes, he was there. So when I get to the house, all I wanted was to go inside. I wanted to be with my mom. I wanted to go in and see my mom, to know this was a joke. It wasn't really happening. But they wouldn't let me in. So me and one of the officers get into it. I pushed him out of the way. They pulled me back. They wouldn't let me in. What I didn't realize at that point, she had already been gone for probably 12, 13 hours. So after they get her body out, we go in the house and we're looking around to figure out what happened. What was going on to make her commit suicide that night. So when I go in, she had her Bible on the bed. There was a song on the radio called The Anchor Holds by Ray Boltz. And it was just on repeat. It was just over and over and over. So I searched the room. I'm trying to find any clues, anything to let me know what's going on. I found heroin under the bed. I found a couple crack rocks. I found some weed. But there was a gallon of tequila. Actually, no, it was vodka. There was a gallon of vodka that was just laying there completely empty. It had, a little bit had poured out on the floor. And I think to myself, how much pain did she have to be in to feel like that was the only way out? There was no other way other than ending her life. And I think about the rock bottom that she had to have felt, the emptiness inside. And I wish every day I could have saved her. I wish there was something I could have done to prevent that day. Maybe I should have went over there the next day. Maybe I should have left her in jail. There's a lot of regrets that I have. There's a lot of things looking back that I wish I could do different. But the fact is, we can all be a Monday quarterback. We can all look at the after effects and think, what should we have done different? At the time, I feel like I was doing the best thing I knew to do. But the thing I needed to do the most, I didn't. I didn't see the signs. I didn't pay attention to how far it had gone. I didn't reach out to give her help. So the reason I'm telling you this story is because with the world the way it is, there's a lot of people dealing with depression. There's a lot of people losing their houses. There's a lot of relationships falling apart. There's a lot of people scared to death. Some of it is legitimate. I was at the post office the other day, and there was a lady behind me that had 2 masks on. She was talking with another lady, and the lady was asking her, can you breathe with 2 masks on? She kind of laughed, and she said, not really, but I just had surgery, and I had half my lung removed, so I'm scared to death because if I get sick, I don't know if I'll make it. And those are questions that nobody can answer because we don't have those answers. But this lady was genuinely terrified. I've got friends whose marriages are falling apart. Their life is chaos right now. They're scared to death because they don't know what the future is going to hold. How is their life going to be once this divorce is final? So the thing is, we never know what the tipping point is. We never know what is that one thing that will push somebody over the edge and make them feel like this is it. There is no answer. So if you've got a friend out there that's just a little off, if you've got a friend that you know is dealing with things, or if you've got a friend that's normally reserved, but all of a sudden they're the life of the party, check on those friends. Don't leave them alone. Don't make the mistake that I made of not making that phone call or taking that 10-minute ride, because it could save their life. We look at someone like Robin Williams. He was happy when he died. The day before, he was joking. He was having a great time. But the next day, he was gone. You look at Chester from Lincoln Park. Everybody thought he was fine. But the next day, he was gone. I look at my mom. She was fine. I knew she was struggling, but she was fine the last time I talked to her. And I knew that when I called her the next day, she would be there. But she's not. So 9 years later, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my mom. There's not a day that goes by that I don't wish I could pick the phone up and call her. There's not a day that I wish she could see my kids growing up. But I can't, because she's gone. The doctors were giving her 120 Xanax bars a month. They were giving her over 100 Lortab a month, because that's all they were doing, was helping her cope with the issue. They weren't helping fix the issue. So guys, depression is real. Suicide is real. Happens every day. If you need help, reach out. There are resources out there. If you need a friend, call me. Message me on Facebook. Message me on Instagram. Post a comment here. I'll talk to you 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter to me. Just reach out and get the help you need. Let's be kind to each other in 2021. Let's help each other, because we never know what they're facing. We don't know the dark demons that are in their heart. We don't know what is going to be that one thing that pushes them over the edge. So guys, I hope you appreciate the video. I hope this kind of gives a little insight into how fragile life is, into how quick it can be gone. Guys, don't live with the regrets that I have. Help someone out if you know you can. And if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. I love you, Mom. I'll miss you forever. Talk to you guys later.